I recently presented at a conference. I presented not just as like a host of a conference doing like a speech, but I did a full-blown presentation of research that I did. I did poster presentation. I was part of a panel answering questions, all that kind of fun stuff. So it was pretty intense. It was fun. It was exciting. Got to dress up and wear like a blazer and, you know, look presentable. I was going to come on here and go ahead and just show my presentation slides and do my speech, but I was really well received and had tons of positive feedback. And because of that, one of the things that was suggested was that I publish the research. So I might be doing that. If it gets published, I'll come read it on here. I have other research papers that I've submitted for publishing and are supposed to be published at some point, and I will come read them here. If I get something published, I'll come read it. But it was exciting and fun, and one of my heroes came to the presentation and was very proud of me, and that made me so excited, because as much as it was cool having all these people tell me, oh, this was so good, this was so great, in reality, there was one person in the room's opinion who mattered way more than anyone else's. She said that I did a good job. It was like, yeah, I did a good job. Because she would tell me if I didn't. It's really important to have heroes who are like that, who are someone that you look up to. I didn't always get to have that in my life, but now that I have it, I appreciate it deeply. He pushes me and challenges me, not just when we talk or he makes a suggestion of something I should do, but she also challenges me by being extremely accomplished at a pretty young age, comparatively to when most people can manage to get to that point, if they even ever do. And it's close enough to where I want to get that it's inspiring. It makes me feel like, oh, well, it's possible to get. But also, she's not the kind of person who's just going to stand around and wait for me to catch up to her. She's the kind of person who's never going to be stagnant. By the time I get to where she is now, or at least something adjacent, she's already going to be doing something else, moved on, and inspiring me in yet new and different in other ways. There's a real sense of purpose that comes from rising to the expectations, knowing that that person is almost like a coach in some ways. Even though we don't talk even every week, it's still so motivating to see someone doing something so similar to what I want to do, encouraging me that I do have the potential to get there. And she's already an expert on the matter. So if she says I could get there, then I could get there. You have to treat it a little bit when you have a mentor, like what they say is what you need to do. You have to trust and respect their advice enough that you'll take it, even if you're not 100% confident about taking it, even if it's something you really have to mull over for a little bit to build yourself up to the point where you can take it. But that is your next step, is being able to take that advice. It's not like you don't do anything in the meantime, but whenever they point something out, you seriously consider it. And I'm very fortunate that like 96% of the time she's right. And I do every once in a great while say, I think I'm gonna do this my way, or I'm gonna just keep this like this. But the majority of the time, if she says, yeah, that's not professional enough, or this needs to be resaid, or rewrite that, okay, I will do that, is my response. What she says goes. He is the Socrates to my Plato. And I haven't had that in my life until September-ish last year. It has been transformative. When you have someone to look up to and to help guide you and to be a mentor, it really makes such a significant difference in how much you can accomplish, how much momentum you can build up. When you're saying, oh, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to get there. And they're saying, oh, just do this. And they make it sound so easy when they say that. And it's not necessarily easy, but it is right. It is at least where you know what the next step is, instead of wondering or instead of being uncertain. For instance, I wanted to go into financial ethics and I thought, oh, I'll have to work as an accountant for a certain amount of time, and then I'll, be able to start working in research fields and stuff like that. She's like, why wait? Why wait that long? Why do you need to be an accountant for over a decade before you start doing any of this stuff? Just become a college student and become a research assistant. I mean, that's not necessarily easy, but it was the right advice. I was like, oh, well, once I graduate, then I can start publishing. She's like, why wait? Let's just do it. Say it like it's easy to juggle working and going to school and going to all my appointments and stuff and dealing with family issues and stuff, that I have to help people with, and then, try to have friendships, be president of a club, be, speaking at conferences and stuff, and also writing so that I can submit to publishing all at the same time. It's a lot, and yet it's very fulfilling. Sometimes hard work is not bad. Like working hard and being exhausted when you feel really proud of what you've been working on is actually a really good feeling. It's just sometimes, man, we really need that guidance and that person telling us, here's what to actually work on. Because, man, I can spend a lot of energy in a lot of fruitless ways, and then I just feel frustrated. It's all in vain. It feels so bad. When you know you're on target and you're working toward that goal and you're actually accomplishing something, you're making momentum forward, it feels so good. And all that work, you would have been doing something anyway, but now the work is going into something you actually believe in or want for yourself. And that feels so much better. I am deeply grateful to have someone who pushes me in the deep end. As much as, yeah, I gotta tread water, there's just nothing that feels quite as good as accomplishing something when you know you rose to the challenge. You know you met that expectation. It feels so freaking good. I encourage anyone who doesn't have someone to look up to, who doesn't have a mentor, think about what qualities that you're looking for in someone. Think about what you want for your life, for your career, and find someone who's doing something similar. It doesn't have to be exact, but close enough that you could say, okay, I want to know what they're doing because it's close enough to where I want to go that's what I need to be doing. You won't always find someone who's up for taking the time to show you how to get there, but if you express your passion and your enthusiasm for it, you might get a yes more often than you would have felt. When you lack confidence, you might think, oh, no one's going to waste their time. But when it's about the subject matter, the content sells itself. So even if you're scared of not being able to sell yourself, you can still be honest, you can still be open, you can still speak with enthusiasm about that thing you're passionate about, or that goal you want to get to, or that career you want to have. Tell that person that you admire them and you want to get to where they're going, and do they have any advice for you? Would they be up for mentoring you or coaching you, even if it's temporary? And you might be surprised, sometimes they'll say yes, and it will grow you so much to have that person in your life, that role model figure. It really grows you so much.